Welcome to Phenax Crank. Hope you're excited to get your synth pop on. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Fetid Pools and Soul Ring. And Demir. Yes, I like this. We're going to keep on this. This is actually a really nice opening hand. I'm really excited about this. So we were able to get down Fetid Pools. It's going to come into play tap. But we get down Soul Ring, get down Demir Signet, go for Knight's Whisper, get down Ethereum Sculptor. Oh, yeah. Like the game plan. And we're playing it to Unesh Value Train. So hopefully we can hack into the Unesh Value Train and make it crash. And, well, we don't want people to die, but we want the value train to stop going, so. All right, so if we don't hit a lane drop, let's go get down to Fetid Pool. It just sounded so, like, I hate to think about the Unesh value train crashing, because I don't like thinking about Unesh crashing. We just need to make sure it doesn't go fast. That's what we're going. Hopefully we can hack in there and blow up the engines. That's a better thing to go. But anyway, let's cover our commanders. We're playing Phenax, God of Deception. This is Mindcrank Mill, combo mill right here. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then, creatures you control have target player puts the top X cards of their library into their graveyard, where X is this creature's toughness. Let's see, drawn to Toxic Deluge. It'll be really nice to take care of Unesh. So let's go and go for Soul Ring. And let's just, let's go for it. Let's get down Soul Ring. Let's go for 2. Add Demir Signet. And then anything else? No, we're going to pass the turn. Play gets Unesh, flying. Sphinx spells you cast costs 2 less to cast. Then, whenever Unesh or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Opponent separates those into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand, then 1 pile into your graveyard. So, and also, I played against Unesh already, so I'm going to say it again. If you didn't catch it, this past Friday I put out a multiplayer game with the Unesh Value Train. I played with Austin from Commander 99, then Kitchen Table Magic too. So if you want to check it out, head on over there. It's a couple videos back, and make sure you check out their channels too. It was a really fun game, and we got to get the value train going really fast. I always like to imagine how fast the value train's going, and that's probably the fastest we've ever had the value train going, to be perfectly honest. So if you're a fan of Unesh, if you're a fan of driving really fast, and if you're a fan of not having brakes on vehicles, that's the video for you. All right, so we draw into Spell Swindle. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's go and go for Knight's Whisper. Let's tap down Demir Signet. Let's go for Knight's Whisper. And that still puts us on for Baleful Strix. That'll be some pretty good card draw. If they want to counter this, they certainly can. Well, not exactly what we wanted to see. Let's go and go for Baleful Strix. We want to get, we're looking for some lands at this point right now. Hopefully we get some lands. That's what we're digging for. Baleful Strix, let's see what we draw into. There we go, Spire of Industry. Let's go and get that down. And then we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Mindcrank. So this is not a traditional Phenax mill deck. It does have mill in here. We do have the aspect of being able to tap our creatures down to mill. But I love the Mindcrank combo. It is one of my favorite combos in Magic, which is kind of weird to think about, but I love it. And yeah, so I wanted to have a deck that is purely dedicated to the Mindcrank combo, and this is it. This is why, this is not a traditional Phenax deck, so that's what kind of we're going for. Let's go and get down Misty. Now, with Thray and Dynamo, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to put them in the perfect range for Unesh, so I think we kind of want to cash in a Spell Swindle right now. I think that'd be pretty good. Let's go and swing in with Baleful Strix. We're able to swing it from 1, so knocking it down to 29. And we are sitting at 6 total mana, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So at this point, we're just going to hold on to Spell Swindle. I know our opponent's probably thinking, well, can't wait to cast Unesh into a counterspell, but if we get this to stick, and it's really not the best thing in the world for us to get a Spell Swindle, it does help us with Weir of Invention, but yeah, don't mind catching a little Unesh. Get the little, make sure they kind of ding the value train heading out of the spaceport, and just kind of get off to a little bit of a rest start. That's always nice. So we'll go for Spell Swindle, and then after that, we'll really kind of start to get our stuff going. But we're in a pretty good position to make sure, they will get some really nice card advantage. 100%, they'll get some card advantage. But with Toxic Deluge and Damnation, we can kind of make sure that we try to keep this set up some speed bumps, basically. I was going to crack Misty. I'm just going to grab a Dual Source. And then let's see. So let's go and grab Underground Sea. That's going to come into play. Let's go and tap down Soul Ring. Now, and our opponent might have a counterspell. If they do, they've got it. But we're at least going to go ahead and cash in the Spell Swindle while we can. I like going for it. Before they get too much value going. Alright, so we're going to go for a Spell Swindle. And then if that's going to be 6 treasure tokens, I'll definitely take that. But depending on what sort of build Unesh is, typically you want to run a lot of 2-mana counterspell. Swan Song. Okay, so we're going to get Frankie. Niv Mizzet's going to let us borrow Frankie for the game. Thank you, Niv Mizzet. So once we have the bird token on the battlefield, they will get that additional Factor of Fiction. I think, unfortunately, we're going to lose Frankie, but we may end up going for Toxic Deluge. for the turn. We kind of need to do that. So Leyline of Anticipation. Ooh, this is that's a pretty good. So we got Mystical Tutor. What do we don't want to play it? Fidelic and Shackles is okay. That's not too bad. We can play around Fidelic and Shackles. So we're going to put that in the pile. Elder Deep Fiend is something we can definitely play around. And with Mystical Tutor, that pretty much turns their library. I think I kind of like this split, because that's going to force them to sacrifice some creatures, or if they want to tap down a creature with Fidelic and Shackles. I feel like Mystical Tutor and Leyline is definitely the pile to take, but that's going to be them tapping down for Leyline. The only downside is no matter how we split it up. Actually, let's try it like this. Let's go Elder Deep Fiend, Mystical Tutor. Yeah, I think I like this pile a little bit better, because Elder Deep Fiend, they have to sacrifice some creatures, they have to tap out for Leyline of Anticipation, especially if we're going to go for Toxic Deluge Damnation. They go for Fidelic and Shackles, that's going to give them something else. Yeah, I like that. All right, that's a little bit of a better pile. So we'll see what they want to grab, and they do actually end up grabbing Mystical Tutor and Shackles, so that's fine. So we'll be able to go for at least Damnation for next turn. We'll still go and swing in Baleful Strix and Frankie, because we're going to lose them either way. So let's go and get down Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and swing in Baleful. We got the bird team. I like it. We got Frankie and Baleful Strix swinging in. And now if our opponent does end up blocking on Frankie, that'll make this Toxic Deluge just a little bit cheaper. So there we go. I like it. It's going to put Unesh down to 2 damage. And then we're going to be able to get him for 1. Let's go and crack. Well, we don't necessarily need to crack Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go and go for Toxic Deluge. Just going to tap down for 2. Yep, because Unesh does have 2 damage. That's going to get rid of Baleful Strix, and also allow us to get down Ethereum Sculptor. So now if they've got a 1-mana counterspell, they've got it. But we already saw Swan Song, so hey, it is what it is. So if they've got it, they've got it. But at least we'll go and force the issue with Toxic for 2. Okay, they're gonna go for. I was like, dude, do they have some sort of? Do they have what is it? Oh, that's I can see it now. But the Ferocious or whatever. Man, I can't remember the name of that. Anyway, I was worried it was gonna be that Ferocious spell, where it was High Tide. Okay, so they're gonna get some stuff moving pretty soon, and they did get rid of Mystical Tutor. So we're gonna go for Toxic for 2. Now, is there anything that we can do? We did hit Weir of Invention. Let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. There's no art. Well, we can, if we want to bring back Scrap Trawler, we can sacrifice it to bring back Baleful Strix. Let's go and grab Watery Grave. And let's go and get down Ethereum Sculptor. And let's go and go for Scrap Trawler. It's going to be 2. And then once we get down Ironworks, we can actually sacrifice Scrap Trawler to bring back Baleful Strix, just to get some card draw going. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn. So they do have 5 cards in the hand, but you know that 2 of the cards in their hand are Fidelic and Shackles and High Tide. And so we'll see what we can get going. Now, as far as Weir of Invention, we're kind of in this position to where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pretty much got our deck on. Yeah, we have our entire deck online for Weir of Invention. So if there's anything that we necessarily want to grab, Ironworks, Sad Robot, Trading Post. Most of the Weir of Invention is pretty much in here just for Mindcrank. So if we can find ourselves into Deathmetal Guildmage, that'll make it to where we can hopefully get the combo going. And also, if you're wondering why do I have Phenax dedicated to the Mindcrank combo, he is mill, so there's that flavor aspect. But with Phenax, it has the ability to, once we get down Phenax, creatures you have, target player puts the top X card of their library into their graveyard. So that's going to give us access to instant speed activation on the Mindcrank combo. So we get down Deathmetal Guildmage, we get down Mindcrank, we activate Deathmetal Guildmage's activated ability, and then once that happens, we just need some sort of way to force a card. Stubborn Denial, that's the name of it. Okay, couldn't remember that. We definitely want to split up Stubborn Denial, and we want to split up Avenger because they do have Surge online. Yeah, let's do it like this. Windreader, Sphinx, Halimar Depths, Stubborn Denial, because basically with Avenger, they're going to be able to cast it for the Surge cost for simply 2 blue mana. Yeah, I like that. And then we can play around a Stubborn Denial. It's not the best, because I feel like if we do it like this, and they might be tempted to take the Avenger and Halimar Depths to get a land. Yeah, because we kind of want this Damnation to stick. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. Okay, let's see if they want to take the Avenger. Typically, when you're playing Unesh, you want to get the low pile with the Sphinx, especially Avenger. Having that surge cost, that's really okay. They end up taking Stubborn Denial, so we have to play around Stubborn Denial, and they did play High Tide, so we're going to cross off High Tide. So we'll cut us off Damnation, and then we draw into ooh, ho, ho, ho. Target non-creature spell unless they pay 1. All right, so let's do this. Let's go for, this is a wonderful way to put the brakes on the Unesh value train. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and go for Damnation. Oh, what a beautiful draw. Actually, let's swing in first, because that will definitely draw out the... Actually, I want to do it this way. I want them to tap... Well, yeah, they don't have High Tide online anymore, so it doesn't matter. All right, so let's do this. Let's go and swing in with Ethereum Sculptor and Scrap Trawler. Yeah, because either way, we need to get in for damage, and then we'll be able to definitely hack into the value train with that Torpor Orb. So let's go and swing with Scrap Trawler. Yeah, I should have looked at that earlier. That would have been a beautiful thing to grab off of Weird Invention, so... We're going to go and swing in. If they do end up blocking on Scrap Trawler, that will at least allow us to bring back Bevel's Tricks out of the graveyard. And then we can recast it, get a little bit extra mana. But yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 total mana. So we are definitely online for Torpor Orb and Damnation this turn. Okay. And I think that'll get them to burn Stubborn Denial, because we need Torpor Orb to stick on the battlefield. We do. Let's go. Yeah, and unfortunately, that's one of those. We could have got it down a little bit quicker, but to be perfectly honest, I kind of forgot it was in the deck. I hate that. It happens sometimes. Actually, we don't need to... Well, we do need to add another black source. So let's go and go for Damnation. So we're going to go for Damnation. We're going to hopefully draw out that Stubborn Denial out of our opponent's hand. Beautiful. All right, and then we'll go and go for Torpor Orb on the back end, and then we'll find some sort of way to deal with Unesh. So that's going to be good. That's going to make this a little bit more fair. Once we get down to Torpor Orb, that's going to cause the value train to really put the brakes on. They can still pay full sticker price for... They still get the reduced cost on some of these Sphinxes, but that's going to force it to where this is just combat only. And I'll start looking at my list for Weird Invention, because we definitely need to... kind of find something that's going to help us. So as far as some of the utility, we do have Executioner's Capsule. So we can grab Executioner's Capsule that's going to get rid of Unesh, or if there's some sort of, let's say they get down Wind Reader Sphinx, which is not something we really want to play around. And whatever creature with flying attacks, you draw a card. That would definitely be the way that they can still generate some value with Wind Reader Sphinx. So we're going to try to find, we might end up going for Executioner's Capsule. There's Demir's Signet, Sorcerer's Spyglass. We don't necessarily need that at this point right now. We got our good Torpor Orb onto the battlefield. They can send it back to our hand, but at least at this point right now, that's going to force them to have an answer for it. Monolith and Ensnaring Bridge. That would be a wonderful thing to get down. Yeah, so we might end up going for Ensnaring Bridge with the Weird Invention, especially once we get down Ironworks. We're going to be in a top deck mode. That'll really kind of put the brakes especially hard on the value train, so that'll kind of definitely throw the speed bumps out there. So I think that's what we're going to use the Weird Invention for. Once we grab Ensnaring Bridge, that's going to be 6 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we've got the artifacts on the battlefield, so we've got it. We're in a pretty good position to hopefully kind of throw this game on lockdown. Especially with 4 4s and 3 7s on the battlefield, that is an excellent way for us to kind of stop the value train. Let's go and cross off that Wind Reader Sphinx. Now, they will get an extra card draw. Ooh, Consecrated Sphinx. Okay. All right. We definitely want an answer for Consecrated Sphinx. Now, here's the deal. So we can Weird Invention for Ensnaring Bridge. They're going to get 2 card draw every single time. If we go for... That's 7 a turn. I'm afraid that we just lose the game if they get down Consecrated Sphinx. If it's allowed to stick around and draw some cards. Ensnaring Bridge definitely does stop them down. But just 2 cards per turn, that puts them in Cyclonic Rift range really quick. Ooh, this is a tough one. Ensnaring Bridge or Executioner's Capsule on Consecrated Sphinx. I still think we go Ensnaring Bridge. That may be the wrong line of play to go for, but something about Ensnaring Bridge is really sticking out to me, so I think that's what we're going to go for. They're not going to be able to attack. They're not going to get the card draw. Yeah, we need to risk it. I feel like Ensnaring Bridge is going to give us the best bet of closing this game out in some form or fashion. So, all right, they do get that extra card draw. Before they have a chance, well, yeah, we're still going to go for Weird Invention. Let's go and tap down Soul Ring. There we go. I wanted to make sure we still had blue mana up available. So let's go and tap down Torpor Orb. That's going to be 3. And we can still grab Executioner's Capsule if we want to. But at this point right now, we definitely want to grab, I think it's Snaring Bridge. It's definitely the better bet. Yeah, let's grab that. So we'll grab Ensnaring Bridge. That's going to hopefully buy us some time. Because even if we just get rid of Consecrated Sphinx, it's just, man, it's an uphill battle. And we did draw into Muddle the Mixture. So we can at least... yeah, they're not going to be able to swing in the next turn once we have access to our full amount of mana. Then we can kind of do something about that. So, yeah, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully this Ensnaring Bridge will be the answer for us. And then with Muddle the Mixture, we can grab one of our combo pieces. The only thing is we need to find the other combo piece with Mindcrank and Dustmantle Guildmage. So, Muddle the Mixture is a wonderful way to search up your combo pieces. So if we can run into a tutor, that would definitely help us get some stuff moving on our side of the battlefield. And with Muddle the Mixture, we can, if we need to, use it as a way to kind of counter like a Cyclonic Rift or something. So we'll kind of see what our opponents see. It does have, I always use Muddle the Mixture as a tutor source, but it does have counter target instant or sorcery spell. That is definitely an option. So, and one of the, I've a little bit of backstory on Mindcrank. So I started my channel, and I got probably about a month into my channel, and I got into Modern during that time. So we're talking about 3-4 years ago. And as I started my channel, I got into Modern, and I started playing Mindcrank, and I just became consumed with Mindcrank. Like I wanted to figure out how to make it work in Modern. And so I spent like a year playing Mindcrank in Modern. And so and I always go to Star City Game events. One of the best thing playing Mindcrank is you go for a transmute off Muddle the Mixture in a Modern event. And, Muddle the Mixture is really not that much of a card that's played in Modern. And so you go from Muddle the Mixture, and people are always just like, I have a couple of people, different people that would try to counter it. And I'm like, you can't counter it. It's an activated ability. And then the fun part is, and this is where I love playing Paper Magic, you go for Transmute off Muddle the Mixture, and then you go for... you just plop down Mindcrank or Dustmantle Guildmage, and they know something doesn't smell good. They know. Like, they don't know what's going on, but they just look at that card, and the look on their face is always just, okay. Like I just stepped in dog poop. That was the look that they always gave us. All right, just stepped in dog poop. Like, I'm not sure what's going to do. And the fun thing about the Mindcrank combo playing in a Modern is it's a combo that is very beatable. But a lot of the combo... Actually, let's get our turn rolling real quick. Yeah, so draw into Thirst for Knowledge, draw 3 cards, discard an artifact. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to go for that. All right, so I'm going to draw 2 cards. Well, we can discard 2 cards regardless, so that'll still be a way for us to kind of hopefully draw into something. So let's go ahead and go for that. Let's go ahead and go for Thirst for Knowledge. We can still get down Ironworks, Padium, Fabricate. Oh no. That... Forgot about Consecrated Sphinx. Dang it, I'm sorry. I got wrapped up in commentary. Oh no, that's not good. We're going to discard 2 cards. 100%. Let's go and get rid of Padium. And let's go and get rid of Ironworks. But at least we have the combo now. We can start working towards that. Let's go and Oziel. That's not good. They just got 6 cards. Sorry about that. I feel like I stepped in dog poop now. That's what just happened. Let's go and go for Fabricate. Is there any certain way that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4? Get the land drop down. Yeah, we can Fabricate and get down Mindcrank. So we're going to go for Fabricate. Let's go and search up Mindcrank, because we might be able to close it out. If we muddle for Dustmantle Guild, we'll kind of do the math on mana. I mean, how much mana we have, but we might be able to close it out. That Fabricate was a really nice draw. At least we needed to force the issue with Cyclonic Rift. And if they did draw into Cyclonic Rift, we still have muddle. We can... Oh! Counter target spell. We gotta stop this one. We gotta go for it. I'd love to use Muddle for the other combo piece for Dustmantle Guildmage, but we've got to stop this one at this point right now. So, and plus it puts our hand at 0. So let's get this popped out. Let's go and grab Mindcrank. There we go. We're going to grab Mindcrank, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So, let's see if we can't get this to stick. But yeah, in Modern, so I would play the Mindcrate combo, and whenever you muddle, you transmute, and then you just plot. I'd always just kind of toss the card onto the table, and it would always land perfectly on the muddle on the table, and they always just have this look like, all right. Oh, I know what I was saying. So with the Mindcrate combo, it goes off at instant speed, and so the combo is very beatable if you know how to play around the combo. But if your opponent sequenced something wrong, if even it's just putting something on the stack at the wrong point, then you can win the game and it doesn't matter. So that was one of my favorite things about the Mindcrate combo is that even though I'd play against skilled players, they weren't familiar with the combo and they would try to do something. And then I would be able to go off at instant speed. And if you don't know about the Mindcrate combo, Deathmental Guildmage says whenever a card hits the bin, they lose a life. And then Mindcrate says whenever an opponent loses a life, they put a card into the graveyard. So that basically it creates a loop until one of two things happen. Either A, they run out of life, or B, they run out of cards. And so that's the fun thing about the combo, especially in Modern. Let's say you're playing against Soul Sisters. They gain a bunch of life. Doesn't really matter to Mindcrate because even if they gain a bunch of life, and let's say that you mill them out and they're still at 20 life, you've gotten rid of all their cards. It doesn't matter. Once you've gotten rid of all their cards, then you can, they go to draw for the turn, they have no card to draw. So that's one of the ways that this combo is so fun to pilot in Modern, is that it's just, it's really hard to beat sometimes. Now, it is completely wide open to artifact removal. Once you get rid of Mindcrate, the combo stops. But if you can get Mindcrate to protect it on the battlefield and to sit there and like not do anything, you're good to go. That's what matters. All right, so we look at all these Sphinxes. Feels good. I don't play, what is it? Oh, that lockdown deck in Modern. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of it. Lantern. We're not playing Lantern Control, but I know what Lantern Control players feel like now when you're just sitting look at all these Sphinxes. I like to imagine they're sitting behind the glass right now just like, we're so mad. If Ensnaring Bridge wasn't here, we'd be getting you right now. So hopefully we can get down Mindcrate, and then we'll probably end up going for Phenax next turn, and that'll allow us to have the combo access to it. Really, we just need to hit a tutor source, and we'll be pretty good. We haven't really seen any tutors no, we haven't seen any tutors this game, and we've gotten through about a quarter of our deck at this point right now. The only downside is that our opponent is, as they're building this entire board state up, they do have shrines. So they're going to be able to generate a really nice chunk of mana, so that's something we need to watch out for. But at this point right now, if they want to grab Scrap Trawler, they can certainly go for it off of Shackles. And even if they do want to grab Deathmental Guildmage, once we get that activation on the stack, that's all that matters. That's the fun thing about the combo is, like I mentioned, some people would try to target Deathmental Guildmage, and once you've activated his ability, you can stack like 4 Path to Exiles on Deathmental Guildmage. It doesn't matter. Like, he's already thrown the grenade of the stack, so once it's on the stack, you're good to go. So, all right, so opponent's gonna have a little bit extra mana. They're gonna go for Phyrexian Metamorph, and they're gonna they said, hey, we need some extra Consecrated Sphinxes. So at this point right now, they've got 3 cards in the hand. We've already hit Damnation. We've already hit Toxic Deluge. I think that's it on board wipes. That is unfortunate, but I think that's it. So we don't really have an out with board. Draw the Trinket Mage. 1 or less. Well, we can go for Executioner's Capsule. Yeah, that'll at least get rid of one of the tokens. Yeah, that's something. All right. So they're going to refuel their hand. Let's go and get down Mindcrate. Let's go for Trinket Mage. Let's go for Trinket Mage. Actually, let's tap down the filter mana first. There we go. Get down, there we go. All right, let's go for Trinket Mage. Let's go and grab Executioner's Capsule. It's going to be 1 mana. And hopefully we can just kind of put the pause. Oh, dang it. We're not going to be able to grab Executioner's Capsule because we have our own Torpor Orb on the battlefield. So we'll remind ourselves of that. All right, so like I mentioned, things aren't looking good. We need to get a little bit of card draw going, and we can find Deathmental Guildmage. All right, so let's do the mana math real quick. So let's say that we do just straight up rip into Deathmental Guildmage. We can win on the spot with Deathmental Guildmage. So we get it down. That's going to be Dimir's Signet. That'll be 1 extra mana left over. We go for the 3 mana activation, 1, 2, 3. I think we need to hit a land. So once we hit, because basically you can have 7 mana with Deathmental Guildmage on the battlefield and win the game, because the second activated ability is target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. So what you do is you add that, put that ability on the stack, hold priority, then activate the first ability of Deathmental Guildmage, and once that ability resolves, then you go for the second ability, and you're good to go. So That's one of the ways that you can combo off, or that's why it's so important to have something like Phenax off to the side, because we can just simply pay that 3-mana activation for Dustmantle Guildmage, and then have instant speed access to a card in the graveyard, because that's what gets it going. So, and that's another fun thing about the combo. Let's say your opponent somehow casts something, you know, let's say they tap out for like a Brainstorm or something like that. In response to the Brainstorm, you activate Dustmantle Guildmage, that card hits the graveyard, and that gets the loop going. So there's a lot of different ways that it's kind of like the Splinter Twin combo in a way, in that you can force your opponent to... First of all, most people don't respect the Mindcrank combo. If I see Mindcrank enter the battlefield, I'm like, all right, it's all hands on deck. We need to deal with that. So most people don't respect it, though. They kind of play a little loose around it. And but yeah, oh my gosh. That's a lot of Consecrated Sphinxes and a lot of not ants. Oh my gosh, I don't have Cyclonic Rift in this deck. I just now looked. Oh no, if people are wondering where's your Cyclonic Rift, I don't have it. I just now looked, and somehow when I built this deck, I felt that it was not necessary. So we've got 4 Consecrated Sphinxes to beat at this point right now. Oh, Stunt Double. Oh. 1, 2, 3. It's like they went for a Rite of Replication, but they paid the iron price for that Rite of Replication. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be 10 cards next turn. And our opponent is definitely my kingdom for a Cyclonic Rift to bounce that Ensnaring Bridge back to their hand. All right, we'll see what we draw into. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that Dustmantle Guildmage. But long story short, we had a fun time with the video. Talking about the Mindcrank combo. I'm very passionate about it. In fact, I need to start building, reworking on Mindcrank for Modern, because it's a really fun deck to play. There's a lot of different ways you can take Mindcrank. There's Esper Mindcrank, Sultai Mindcrank, Grixis Mindcrank. You can go like Mono Blue Mindcrank with splashing black for the activation. There's a lot of different ways you can have a lot of fun with Mindcrank. It's a really fun combo. All right, so we draw to Island. Look at, always yield to these triggers. I mean, we're going to stick it out. We're not going to scoot. We're going to get down Phenax. We're going to get this island down. Oh, my goodness. Cat scared me. All right, so they're going to basically get 2 starting hands. Let's go get down island. Let's go ahead and go for Phenax. Let's do this. Let's go and tap down Soul Ring. Let's go Signet. Now, if they don't have any sort of graveyard recursion... Oh, they're going to go for Remand. Oh, dang it. Okay. Dang it, that's going to get it. Okay, that's going to send Phenax back to the hand. We can't recast it, so we're going to go and pass the turn. Kick it back over to our opponent, and then we'll see if we can't get going. But if you're keeping score at home, and you want to check the box of, this doesn't look good, this would be a good time to check that box. It doesn't look good. But yeah, like I mentioned, so we'll talk about Mindcrank. So there's a lot of different, I have a lot of different Mindcrank builds. You know, I had a heavy artifact Weird Invention build. Mindcrank's also really good if you splash the Thopter Foundry combo in there. Once they unbanned Thopter Foundry for Modern, that was really good, because that it gave the deck, one of the things that the deck really suffered from was having a second win condition. You know, if let's say you got Surgical Extracted on Dustmantle and Mindcrank, you're left with this just shell of a deck that's just not good. And so being able to add the Thopter Foundry combo, that really helped push the deck in a position to where, all right, I can just grind it out with the Thopter Foundry combo, and then once I get the Mindcrank combo, I can just get that down and kind of go off for that. So it's definitely one of those decks where I take it to a Friday Night Magic, and it's like your win condition is the Thopter Foundry combo, which is very frustrating to play against, and my other win condition is an instant speed combo with Mindcrank. So it's just it's not a very nice deck. And I tend to be a nice person when I meet people, so I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Good luck. And then just next thing you know, it's just like, is this person, what's wrong with this person? Why did they jam these 2 combos together? Anyway, it feels good. So, all right, opponent's going to go for Glyph Keeper. We're not seeing Cyclonic Rift yet, and we can, once we get down Phenax, we can start milling out. It's going to be real slow, but they are at 40 cards in the library. If we get lucky and mill out Cyclonic Rift or something, that'd be pretty good. I think I like that. Come on, Kiki. Sorry, my cat's rubbing against my microphone cable. It's a little cold here where I'm at, and ouch. And she gets extra snuggy when it's cold. She likes to be held. All right, so opponent's adding a pretty good chunk of mana. That's gonna be 25 mana. So we'll see what they're gonna get going. But yep, like I mentioned, unfortunately we didn't get a lot of milling for the game going, and it's not over yet, but it's that's not looking good. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20 cards per card draw. Ooh, but it is a May ability. It is, right? You may draw 2 cards. Okay, so opponent's gonna go for Pong of. Poor Trinket Mage. Poor. I don't know what warranted that Trinket Mage, but poor Trinket Mage. Mana Vault. I'm like, of all things that I'm not mad that we've got 10 Consecrated Sphinxes on the battlefield. I'm more mad that Trinket Mage just got hit with the monkey token. It's like, poor Trinket Mage, it's just a little 2/2 on the battlefield. Alright, we'll see what else they're getting down for the turn. I mean, because everything else has fun. Yeah, I still, like, I don't know why I'm so offended that Trinket Mage just got hit in the face. Turned into a monkey, but I guess that happens sometimes. Alright. My cat likes to be held like a little baby. I'll have to take a picture and post it on this video, and I'll try to remember it at whatever minute mark it is. Okay, and our opponent's going to get down an ever-flowing chalice for 11. At this point, they're just dumping a ton of cards out there. Yeah, I mean, we're still online for Minecraft. Dig through time, okay. And that'll definitely allow them to find some sort of stuff out of their hands. So let's get this dig through time resolved, and then we'll see what we can draw into. Okay, so we survived the turn. All right, we got 20 card draw coming in for our opponent. I'll see if they're going to go for that. Drawn to Ghost Quarter, which is not what we wanted to see. Well, I mean, we're just going to always yield to that. I mean, don't want to scoop it up just yet, but hopefully we can get into some sort of tutor sometime soon. And we'll see if they want to force some of this card draw. We still will go ahead and get down Phenax, because we can still get some activations going. Look at that. Oh no. Things have gotten bad. Alright, so let's go and get down Phenax. I'm sure they've got 400 counter spells to put on the stack to stop this, but we're still going to see if this is going to stick. At least we can recast it if there's another remand effect. Alright, so Phenax is going to stick. And then, yeah, I guess we just pass the turn and go for... We'll see how they decide to go with the card draw, because if they go really aggressive, then we might be able to... I don't know. I don't think we can close it out, but we'll see. Maybe they don't have dig through time in there. I don't know. We don't know. We're going to play this one out, so we can still at least go for the milling. We're almost a third of the way with milling, because we can mill 5 cards. They're going to draw a card, and then they're at 15 cards in their library. So, and also they're at the 4-minute mark. So I'm not above a timeout win. Still, it's not a cheap. I mean, it's not a solid win, but hey, a W is a W. So we could try that. But yeah, poor Trinket Mage. And we'll have to have a service for Trinket Mage after today's video. Alright, return to... Oh, alright, so they're finally ripping the Cryptic Command. Good game. We're going to still force... We're going to get a little bit extra value. They finally hit that Cryptic Command. They got some sort of way to bounce back at Snaring Bridge. We're going to mill them out. Just as a little bit of a last piece. But unfortunately, we just couldn't hit... when we hit Mindcrank, but we had to use that Muddle the Mixture to stop that, because Mindcrank goes, we just don't have an answer anymore. So, opponent's going to be able to swing in. They got the Consecrated Sphinx Army. At least with Torpor Orb, we made them fight for their meal. That's, hold up. Oh, you may draw a card. Never mind. Okay, well, that's still a lot. Let's see if they want to keep drawing some cards. Maybe they do. This will be like, we'll let that... Aw. You don't want to keep drawing cards? I would love it if that Wind Reader Sphinx was not a May ability. Oh, that'd be sweet. And they just right-clicked and swung in. Okay, so they're going to definitely tap the brakes on this one. Swing across, and we'll see how much damage this is, but that is the value train very angry that they had to sit on the tarmac for like 4 hours. Look at that. That is, let me speak to your manager. Why did the value train have to sit here for so long? And they're all mad. Look at that. All right, anyway, they're going to be able to swing in. It's going to get us down to definitely negative something, so let's see what that is. Good game to our opponent, too. That was negative 68. They closed it out. They beat Ensnaring Bridge. So that's one of the fun things about Magic is that beating some lockdown pieces, it always feels so satisfying to get that win. And, yeah, good game to our opponent. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.